Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Moving Mountains. Today, we're doing another interview segment where I interview people like you and I that are going through the pandemic, just like everybody else, and explain to me what they're doing on their day to day just to get through. Today, I'm with Macie, my best friend, and also a fellow New Jersey resident here in Sussex County. Hello, Macie.
Hi.
Hi. So, quick summary. I just want to know what your day to day life was like before the pandemic hit.
So I was working, I had a full-time job and I was already working remotely
Hmm.
for about 5 months. The company I was working for it's based in Long Island, but I was working from my home in New Jersey. So I would work from most of the day, go to the gym, hang out with my friends. I had weekends off. I'd hang out with my boyfriend. I like to go hiking, and I actually was in Asheville, North Carolina with my friend Ashley um, in March. So it was mid March, end of March, and it was literally the same time that COVID was unfolding. So we didn't really know much about it. Like there were talks about it in China and things like that. And it was kind of creeping up. But I feel like we were very unaware of how serious it was
Hmm.
until we actually were driving home. We were getting texts from our friends saying, like, you might get laid off. It's getting serious. She's a bartender. So she was literally in a group chat with her friends who were saying, they're closing bars
Hmm.
this week. And I remember she got home and called me and she said, Macie, like, you know, because I was the one who was worried about it because my dad has compromised health. So she lives with her boyfriend. He's healthy. So she wasn't really concerned. I was. And I was like kind of making a big deal about it. Like every rest stop we went to, I made her sanitize her hands. I was like, I'm sorry I'm being extra, but like you don't know how fast this stuff spreads.
Hmm.
If whatever they're saying is right, it's crazy. Like this is like insane. So and she listened to me and then she called me and she's like, you have every right to be like worried. She's like, my work's closing. I don't know what I'm going to do. She claimed unemployment right away.
Hmm.
And, so yeah, we were in North Carolina. Before that, we were hiking in the Smoky Mountains and just enjoying life. And, you know, then everything just like came to a screeching halt.
Yeah, it was a big shift for
Yeah.
everybody from doing just regular day to day activities, and then all of a sudden, it's like, bam, you get hit with with
Yeah.
something that we don't know anything about, and then on top of that you're worried because you don't know what could be the outcome of it, or if you get it, or if a loved one gets it. So yeah, it's definitely very scary. um,
Right.
so explain to me, I know you told me that Ashley got laid off, so explain to me the process of what was going on with your job, because I understand that you were furloughed for a little bit and then you were brought back, and then you got laid off again. So just let me know what that experience was like and how your boss was.
So it's just a headache to think about because it was just so like back and forth. And
Uh-huh.
so like I said, Ashley claimed unemployment right away, which was like right in the beginning of everything. So honestly, in a way, it was perfect. She got her stuff right away. However, um, I worked in a niche in the medical field, and the company I worked for serviced ambulance equipment. So we were like, are we going to be busy? We don't know. We weren't. So
Mhm.
um, I was kind of like, I was still working for them, but the business was slow for like 2 weeks or like a week and a half after all of this was happening. So literally within that week, everybody started claiming unemployment. And like, sure enough, there's 300 million unemployment cases that are opened.
Yeah.
And I'm still working.
Yeah.
And then they say to me, Macie, we're not getting business. Like we didn't know these people would have to go in ambulances or have to go on stretchers. That's what we would service and that's what would make our business go up, but it didn't. You just go to the hospital. And so, yeah, they furloughed me, and along with many other of their employees as well. So I got furloughed, um, and I was furloughed for about a month.
Mhm.
Um, and I claimed unemployment. I think it was 3 days after I had a lot of information that I needed to get, because with this new, COVID unemployment, there was a lot of new things that it was requiring. If you had like letters from your company, there was just a lot of things that I needed to make sure that I have for it to be okay and to get accepted.
Mhm.
So I actually, at the time, I was sick. I was also freaking out because I thought I had COVID, and I was living with my boyfriend and his dad and his brother and his brother's friend who was quarantining from
Mhm.
his mom who was sick. So it was really scary. I did not know if I had it. I didn't have a fever. Um, I was told that I had pneumonia, and I had it for 3 months. Like, I was sick for 3 months.
Wow.
Um, so, yeah, I apparently made a mistake on my first unemployment claim. So when I made the claim, it was, like I said, 3 days after I got laid off, and like a week goes by, another week goes by, another week goes by, and I'm like, okay, like I know that the numbers are up. I haven't heard anything back. There was just an email that I got from unemployment, like an automated email, and then it said, "We're missing some information. Please answer these questions." So I know it got put in there. It was recognized. So it was just making sure everything was correct. So I was like, okay, it's working, you know?
Yeah.
So then another week goes by, and then I start talking to some people, and somebody told me, who has gotten unemployment in the past, to reclaim or refile. So because they're like, you haven't heard anything, just refile. So I was like, okay, I don't know any better. Like, I'll
Yeah,
just
it's
do it.
your first
But
time.
yeah, so I refiled. And then I find out it said somewhere in an email that I got sent to me after that, don't refile, it will delay your payment, so I'm like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
So literally like another 3, 4 weeks goes by,
Mhm.
nothing, nothing. So it was an absolute nightmare. I was calling the, unemployment center every day, constantly. I'm not even exaggerating when I say 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, over 100 times in a day. And
Yeah.
I know, like, I would hear the recording, and I would just know if I kept hearing that, I'd hang up, hang up, hang up until I heard a different recording, then it would, like, let me go in. And the
Mhm.
one time I got in, I actually it said, "We can't have anybody talk to you at the time. Press 1 if you want them to call you back." And they finally called me back, and I
Wow.
got it taken care of. So, uh
So how long during this unemployment process did you go without getting any money?
uh,
Just a rough estimate.
2 months, 2.5 months.
Yeah. So
It's
that's
kind
a long time to not get paid and not get
of
any money, especially when, you're paying bills and stuff like that. So during this quarantine time, you're going through being sick and then this whole problem with unemployment. So, were there any times where you felt like anxious, a little bit depressed, or stressed?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember getting home from vacation and I was coughing. Like when I was hiking, I was coughing up phlegm a lot. And I was like, okay, maybe it's just the elevation. So, but it just increasingly got worse as I got home. So I was sick. And when I get sick, I get like mad for some reason. That's just how I am.
Yeah.
So, and I remember waking up at a really weird time because I don't know, it just things were just out of control. And it was like maybe I don't know. I think it was like 1 o'clock on a weekend, and it was cloudy outside, and I woke up, and I was in bed, and I thought it was all like a bad dream, and
Mhm.
I looked at my phone, and I see all these, like, BBC updates on my phone and, like, talking about, like, the death toll skyrockets in the US and all across the world because of COVID, and, like, I lost it, completely lost it. and like I didn't want to go outside. I thought like you couldn't go like I knew you could go outside, but I just felt so trapped and like really, really, really in a deep depression, like haven't been like that in a while.
Yeah.
And yeah, definitely anxious, so anxious just because you don't know what's gonna happen. If you're worried about your family getting it,
Yeah.
that I
Just even
walked
going
I
to the
remember I had to
store,
yeah, I had to
going to the
get
store.
get something from my dad's house, and I walked into his house with full, like, garb. I had, like, the mask on, and I had gloves on, and I would spray everything in my path,
Mhm.
and he was kinda, like, laughing at me because he's
Mhm.
trying to take it lightly. He's like, "You got everything on." I was like, "I don't wanna get you sick, like, I don't know if I have it, I don't know," like so it
Yeah.
was really weird. And I
Yeah.
just remember the one day my mom came, um, she would sometimes drive to my boyfriend's house where I was staying, and she would say, "Let's go for a walk." At my old high school, we would like social distance and walk like a mile or two together.
Mhm.
And honestly, that really brought me out of my funk. And sure enough, within the next like couple weeks, I was doing 10, 15-mile walks every day by myself. And
Mm.
that was like changed my whole outlook. And like nature, being outside, like literally saved me.
Yeah. So you say like being outside and just walking and being with nature helped you a lot. So is there anything else that helped you just get through the day to day?
Yeah, so I would say talking to other people, like sometimes people may feel embarrassed or ashamed, but
Mhm.
um, I definitely needed some reassurance that I wasn't crazy. So I would talk to my friends about it.
Yeah.
I was reading like forums online, people on Facebook having similar experiences kind of made me feel like I wasn't alone, and that
Mhm.
always helps me. And I started um a schedule so that, you know, helped me, and you were the one who kind of helped me with that. So, just like waking up at a normal time, showering. I wouldn't shower for like so long, and
Yeah.
uh, doing a workout routine. It's really hard for me to work out at home, but we literally ordered a squat rack and like had, a hex bar for deadlifting weights. So we kind of went hard with that, and that's good. And I had this journal that I would draw in and paint in and like write lyrics, just anything to like release, have a creative outlet. That
Yeah.
really helped a lot.
Good. Good. I feel like a lot of people could take away from that and just think like, what can I do every day that will help me get through? And you mentioned scheduling because yeah, you're at home all day, you got nothing to do. So if you're just sitting there on your phone looking at the numbers that just keep going up and up and up, and we're having this second wave talked about right now coming through. They're saying that the peak is going to be Thanksgiving, and that's about 3 weeks away from now. So that can be, people can spiral again.
Yeah.
So I guess my next question would be, what advice would you give someone who is having a hard time like how you were and struggling with similar feelings?
So I would say, um, number one, I'm a big advocate for therapy. I know that therapists sometimes are really hard to get in touch with or get an appointment with, but do it as soon as possible. Do a virtual therapy.
Mhm.
Go if you feel comfortable going. Talk to someone, talk
Yeah.
to your friends, talk to your family, journal. That's a really big thing that has always helped me. And like I said, paint, draw, and even if you don't feel like doing it, just do it. Like I promise, like sometimes you just forget why you're doing it
Mhm.
and you just kind of like ease into it. Listen to music. Um I was on TikTok for so much of the time. Like I know people like either love it or hate it. It made me laugh so much. I was doing makeup tutorials. Like it would be like 10 a.m. and I wouldn't have work or anything. I was unemployed and my face had like a smoky eye and a bold lip, and I was just in my PJs, like eating Cheerios. And I missed getting my
Yeah.
nails done so much that whenever I had to go to the pharmacy every month and to pick up like medicine. So I saw these Kiss press on nails. So like even things like that, I would do my nails and make it seem like I had like my self-care every month
Yeah.
that I would get.
Yeah,
So
self-care is mental health care for sure.
yeah, and
I would
like
definitely agree on that.
yeah, and like I splurged a lot on skincare. I mean,
Same.
Barber Sturm saw a lot of my paycheck.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like looking on ways how to improve my skin. My acne cleared up for the first time in so long.
Mm,
Drinking a lot of water. I drank absolute garbage the first like couple weeks, but then like, after that you start to feel like, really bad. So you change your eating habits. That's really important. And
yeah,
then just exercise any way you can, stretching, yoga, going outside for a walk. Like it's getting colder. So that's something
yeah,
that people it's going to be hard for some people, but you have to
yeah.
kind of
Even just like a quick, like 5-minute walk at 12 o'clock during lunchtime. It
yeah.
can, going for a walk can simply take your mood from down here to up here. And
Yeah. I completely agree because it kind
yeah,
of just puts you in the moment. Like, and I would even say, like, when it is cold, it puts you more in the moment because you have to, like, be like, okay. Like, I know people who love to run in the cold. It's better for your lungs.
mhm,
And you're just forced, like, to be right there. And sometimes I love to go walking in the snow. Like, it's beautiful.
yeah,
So, wherever you live, like, if you feel like you need to kind of get out and get lost and get out of your head, like do that by all means. It's really helpful. Like
yeah.
people
I
forget
agree.
that nature is there and it's our biggest source of like love.
I agree. Beautifully said, Macy.
Thank
Beautifully
you.
said. All right. So I'm really happy that you came and spoke today. And even though it's via Skype, I'm sure we'll be talking to each other sometime soon.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much and have an amazing rest of your week.
You too. Bye.
Bye.